Greenbridge Police Department. July 29, 1999. I'm Selena McKellen, Senior Investigator for the Homicide Department. Case 19.6 Sarah Turner. On the morning of July 22nd, we received a call about a fire on Alfred Blank Highway, in the forest area of the state. An elderly couple who lived in the area reported seeing a sudden trail of smoke in the sky, about 5 kilometers from their house. Initially, everything indicated that it was an intentional fire, given that the area was uninhabited, and there were no records of construction or deforestation. The report was forwarded to the fire department, which arrived at the scene around 1 p.m. Later that afternoon, we received a call from the neighboring department, and we were notified that there was a body at the scene. The fire had spread quickly. The dense underbrush was filled with smoke, and it was almost impossible to breathe. Apparently, an abandoned shack was the source of the fire. The body found was almost unidentifiable due to the burns. One of the most terrible things I've ever seen. And the worst part is that she was burned alive. The victim was taken to the nearest hospital, and we've already managed to identify her as Sarah Turner. The investigation revealed that the land where the shack was located belonged to the Turners, a traditional family from Greenbridge who have been living abroad for a year. Sarah Turner, 46, was a receptionist at LeBanc and lived in the central area of the state. She hadn't shown up for work in about 4 days, which wasn't very usual. We even went to her apartment, but we didn't find anything except a hungry kitten that I took the liberty of bringing with me. Electronic devices were seized in an attempt to gather information.
Recording the case. Jude Hopkins.
No, it's about Sarah Turner. Hasn't arrived yet. What happened?
A car accident on the border highway involving a deer.
And
Mrs. Hopkins had been missing for 8 hours. Can you believe it? She even said she had spent a few days at a colleague's house. Well, no complaints, no crime. Let's leave it to the traffic wardens. Haha. Anyway, good night, McKellen.
Good night, Alan. 8 hours? Okay, where was I? Information. It's never been so hard to find out the minimum about someone. Most of her expenses were paid by her parents, which means no bank records, no friends at work, single, and no other activities. It's like going around in circles. Until yesterday, we discovered that she was in therapy through the building's doorman, the last person to see her on the night of July 18th. The therapist and the doorman will be interrogated tomorrow morning, and we have nothing else. The medical condition of the possible Sarah Turner is something. I don't know if she'll be able to testify, but I'll be there to listen. And you, if you could speak. It's time to go home, isn't it? Mr. Tobias. End of tape. Police Department, August 23rd, 1999. This is Selena McKellen. Ah, my God. McKellen, what's going on? I already said I don't need it. Everything's under control, Stuart. And how do you expect me to access records from another account? They won't. And if they ask, we've already said it was an armed robbery. No, that's a lie. And what do you want me to do? The department changed its system 2 days ago, and to make matters worse, they put a rookie on my desk. How do you think someone would react to having their name mentioned in an anonymous recording? To make things easier, the damn rookie lost the files from the pen drive, which is 80% of the material. Tell them to house it. No, Stuart, ask for a deadline. Not no return. Just a date. Okay, bye. All right. It's the department. Ah, damn it. You already know the rest. Things are chaotic, but I think I discovered something yesterday. Updates on case 19.6 Sarah Turner. It's been a month, and she still hasn't shown any signs of improvement. The doctors say she's hallucinating, saying it's not her all the time. But her physical condition doesn't allow for any exams at the beginning of her treatment, yet, and her parents don't want to. The doorman didn't say anything we didn't already know. And once again, we're back to square one. We interviewed the psychologist and reviewed her psychiatric file. Bipolarity and violent tendencies. Dr. Bluck said she was unstable if she didn't take her medication and follow her routine, and that she had a second personality with an extremely brutal approach. Until next week. The Jude Hopkins case ended up on an environmental radio show, labeling her as an animal killer, and some relevant information was announced. These cases are handled by another department, which I don't have access to. Well, I wouldn't have if Jude didn't work as a secretary at the bank, and by mere coincidence, was the person closest to Sarah at work. We interrogated her, and she had a good relationship with the victim, but only at a professional level. Superficial motivations? Well, Jude is the opposite of the victim. Her public life is very active, so we had access to basically her biography. The question is that she had an accident, on the exact day we found the victim, on the same highway, within a 3-hour interval. And she didn't have a very convincing alibi. The supposed friend she was with couldn't be located. Logically, that's not enough for an arrest. The problem comes now. 2 weeks ago, Jude Hopkins was reported missing. Yes, a potential suspect on the run. And hundreds of possible suspects. We were making progress on the case until the tourists showed up. Due to the press, the governor asked us to distribute these types of cases to smaller departments, and I was about to do that when I entered the missing persons records of Greenbridge. Where do I even start? How about this? 9 months ago, Samantha Parks disappeared after being fired from the school, where she worked as a teacher. Right after that comes Ryan Freeman, last seen working on his computer at home. Madison Ortega, a university student who disappeared after being rejected for a scholarship. Arthur Lee disappeared in the same week as his wedding. George Mandela took his dog for a walk and never came back home. Well, I opened the files without any expectations. Missing persons cases are nothing new. The cases don't have a pattern, and they're temporally distant. So I read the files. In all 5 cases, the files aren't different from Sarah Turner's. Yes, all of them didn't have many records, a nearly non-existent social life, and were distant from their families. In 9 months, 5 people with no simple research data simply vanished. Even the investigations didn't lead anywhere, as if these people were voiceless characters in their own lives. They were, and only were like plants. I was terrified, but there was nothing I could do. I mean, these cases are no longer under my jurisdiction. I almost didn't sleep, and I wouldn't have if it weren't for Mr. Tobias's insistence, and things don't stop happening. Today, a lady came with her husband to the police station to report an aggression by her grandson. I was arriving when I heard her at the desk. She was brought by her husband because she refused to testify, so I intervened. An aggression is an aggression, regardless of the case. In the end, she testified, and the afternoon continued, and her husband was too sick to defend. It was when she started defending him, you know? A grandmother always believes in her grandkids. I remember her exact words. The boy disappeared during a trip to the lake, and I remember seeing the searches on the news, but the young man appeared hours later. This case never even became official. It was just a teenager lost in less than 24 hours. But the grandfather said how he came back different. He started going out more at night, mainly with other guys, became more hygienic, and rarely responded to them at home. Spent more time at the university than with them. And that's saying something, since this kid was described as exemplary before that. Okay, it's just another teenager, but just in case, I put his name in the records. Alex Fisher, a student at Greenbridge's Veterinary Academy. 2nd year. Recently, he got a scholarship. A scholarship? The course and the list of competitors. Madison Ortega, 40th place Alex Fisher, 27th place 30 vacancies, and the only ones from the same class of competitors. You can already imagine what I thought. And yes, they disappeared in the same week, but only he came back. I tried to link other cases, but the information is fluid, and there's no other miracle like this in all of Greenbridge until Jude Hopkins. Ah, not again. End of tape.